out. It was right up there earlier on, and hands on a lap, which is looking handy enough to get him in, I think. Just needs to do a decent final sector now for Joey Hand, and that'll bump him back up to about 12th, something like that.
Is Scheider going to go through? It's going to cross the line about now.
Scheider doesn't move, stays in 18th place, and Hand should be the next one coming towards us at the end of this session. And
well done, Joey Hand.
Yep, Hand goes to 9th. So it's Albuquerque, Timo Scheider, Werner, Tomczyk, Merry and Prio out. And, well, sad to say Andy Prio staying at the bottom of the pile throughout that session. Well, there's Albuquerque. And Rockefeller, the championship leader, with a 1:23.5. And 0.7 a second quicker than Q1 a year ago. So just to recap, people didn't make it. Albuquerque, Timo Scheider, Werner, Tomczyk, Merry and Prio.
Well, as you predicted, it was a bit harum-scarum at the end, Andrew. So everyone got out on track to get a final time in from that part of qualifying. That was Q1. Q2 to come in just a while.
Well, Albuquerque, just the second time this season that he's missed the cut. Still hasn't got any points on the board this season. Timo Scheider, how many times did he fail to get out of Q1 this season? Not at all. He's always made it into Q2 this season. And remember, he's on the pole position at Hockenheim.
So we can see the cars making their way back into the pit lane then.
Dirk Werner, third time that he hasn't made it into Q2, but the first time was at Hockenheim, and he started 20th. He came through to second place, remember.
Amazing. Here's the results from quali then. Mike Rockenfeller, a 1:23.522. Then Edo Mortara. Then Christian Vitoris, Timo Glock, Gary Paffett, fifth fastest. Then Danny Juncadella, Marco Wittmann, then Molina. And there you can see in red at the bottom those that Andrew has said that we're losing: Felipe Albuquerque, Timo Scheider, Dirk Werner, Martin Tomczyk, Roberto Merry and Andy Prio.
Here's an interesting fact. Former champion Martin Tomczyk has only made it through to Q2 twice this season.
Really?
Twice.
Certainly isn't together for him this season, is it? As we look at some of the good crowd here to enjoy what is a packed motor racing program across the weekend here at the Nürburgring. And there, once again, in graphics for you on screen, confirmation of those that we're losing from that first part of qualifying. Albuquerque, Scheider, Werner, Tomczyk, Merry and Prio all out. 2 Audis, 3 BMWs and a Mercedes.
That, of course, sets the back 3 rows of the grid.
Yep.
Here's Prio in the Crown Plaza machine. Switched BMW teams over the winter. Left the Belgian Bart Manthe run team and switched to the German RMG team, but doesn't seem to have made much difference to him, to be honest. Roberto Merry. What about Roberto's record? He's only made it through to Q2 once. There's the traditional BMW colours. Saw a nice 2002 giving taxi rides this morning. All racing M3 2002 looked good.
Yes.
Dirk Werner in the Samsung car. Yep. But that was an amazing drive for Hockenheim through the field. But not having a good qualifying. And here, former champion Timo Scheider. Switched from the white car back to the black, which is where he had all his success for the start of this season, but hasn't helped him. And there we see Timo walking away. And then Albuquerque. How much did he miss the cut by? 100th of a second.
Yeah.
100%.
The margins are very, very close, Andrew,
Absolutely
aren't
are, yeah.
So
But we can hear from Martin Tomczyk down there with Yves, a man who's won here twice in the past.
Martin, for sure you had bigger plans than finishing already in Q1. So what happened to you? It's a season to forget.
Yes, indeed it is. I mean, I have no clue. I just have no clue. I mean, I do whatever we can as a team, as a driver. But the outcome is worse than everyone can expect so far.
How can you push for the race tomorrow?
I don't know.
My goodness. But I've seen, I think Christina is here with you. Perhaps she has a clue for you. But good luck for the race tomorrow. We're really disappointed, Martin Tomczyk. Back to you guys.
thank you. Yes, he really is down. Andrew.
Disappointed, dejected even there.
Oh. Yes,
And there's another man walking towards Yves, Timo Scheider, another former champion. He's going to be in a similar state, I think.
he was really dejected, wasn't he?
And we can hear from him right now with Yves.
Actually, Timo, you live in Austria, but for sure the Nürburgring is some of your home round. So I think you had bigger plans too, like Martin Tomczyk said to me the same.
Yeah, definitely. So we struggled quite a bit already this morning. We had a fire extinguisher issue while free practice, so we lost like half an hour. And right now we had a problem with the fuel system, so we could not refuel the car in between the sessions. So we had just one lap and had traffic in that one. So yeah, bad luck again.
Bad luck again. What happened with the fire extinguisher? Is your car already clean again?
Yeah, luckily the guys cleaned it afterwards. Good enough. I could drive, but well, that's another problem we had. So it's like crazy this season, I have to say.
You're starting from P18. What's possible for the race tomorrow? Because we have long straights here on the start-finish line and the other side.
We have seen crazy races so far this season, so hopefully I can be part of one of the crazy races and make some positive moves. The weather forecast is quite wet, I have to say, so probably we can catch up with some positions, yeah.
Okay, good luck for tomorrow. Back to you guys.
As the first driver that said, with regards to the weather could play a part in tomorrow's race, of course, Andrew.
Yeah, I mean, it's always very changeable here in the Nürburgring. We've had wet DTM races here in the past as we start Q2. Well, last year in Q2, the fastest man was Martin Tomczyk. Well, that's not going to be repeated because he is already on the sidelines. So the clock is reset then for everyone apart from those disappointed six we saw.
So out they go then into Q2. Brilliant qualifying entertainment that we have with DTM as we go on board with Bruno Spengler, currently second in the Drivers' Championship. Just checks his hands onto the wheel. Look at the focus on the visor there. You can just see Bruno Spengler's eyes through there as he accelerates hard now out of the pit exit down to this first hairpin turn.
Yeah, everybody trying to get a lap in pretty quickly. Remember, this Q2 is shorter than Q1. Jamie Green then, here he comes. New boy Audi, far from a new boy at the DTM. Just saw Whitman coming out behind him.
Following Jamie Green around the Nürburgring circuit here then. Great shot there as we followed him through that, completely through that corner. Getting a first sector time in just a moment, and we'll see where we're at with that. 42.695.
Yeah, well, Green setting the early pace in qualifying session 2 here for this DTM here at the Nürburgring. After this, just the race at Oschersleben, Zandvoort and Hockenheim to go. And Green, this looks like a good lap. Going to set some sort of benchmark. And it looks a very good lap indeed at 23.631. Take him to the top of the pile for now. That's an Ekstrom exit on the signal. Board then with Matthias Ekstrom. So unlucky then not to take the victory at the Nürburgring after the water bottle incident. Rocky there, right up at the sharp end of this.
So 1:23.573 is what's put Vitoris fastest. Ekstrom now goes P2. Then Paffett P3, Green P4. Then it's Tombe. Mortara now 1:23.332. Andrew.
Yeah, Vitoris done a lot of Formula 3 racing here in the past. I don't think he ever won one. He had a couple of poles. Comes from a place called Gonnersdorf, which is not far down the road. So he's a bit of a local here. There's the Spengler car though. No white roof this week, so they're not expecting heavy sun.
No.
Don't feel there's a paint on that car by now, I would have thought. It's been started black, been white, gone black again, white again.
Yes.
Wittmann putting in a pretty handy lap now.
Yeah, P3 for Marco Wittmann then.
There he is in the ice watch car. Those coloured stripes. Yeah, he's Glock. Well, that was a good lap with Glock in Q1, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
So, see what Timo Glock can do. Wheel fall off, didn't he, in the first race of the season. Had a podium at Spielberg. That was the standout. It's the only point scoring race he's had this year. Ekstrom in 8th place at the moment. There he is, on board with Spengler. 5 minutes and 50 seconds remaining here at the Nürburgring, past the Dorint Hotel. Of course, a lot of motor racing industry around here. Quite a few of the drivers, and of course some of the teams, even particularly Team Phoenix, they'll be sleeping in their own beds tonight rather than in a hotel.
Yeah.
So Farfus in 11th at the moment. Let's just quickly do it at Mortara, Wickens, Wittmann, Molina, Vitoris, Rockefeller, Green, Ekstrom, Paffett and Spengler. Farfus is missing the cut right now, so is Tambe and Glock, Verline and Juncadella. Everyone's just done one quick flying lap for a time, and then they'll probably bolt another set of tyres on.
Yes, and we can see them diving into the pit lane now.
Yeah, and then they'll go, got one more chance to get a quick one in. RS5, blazoned over that car.
So it's Mortara then.
Looking down on the 19 car of the man who leads this championship, Mike Rockefeller. DRS will be used in the race. Option tyres will be used in the race, but not in qualifying.
On board with
Spengler comes in. And, man goes to work with two separate sort of hairdryer things. Well, actually, they normally use to blow leaves out of the way, but modified for racing. Now we're going to have this final torrid 4 minutes. Tara, Wickens and Wittmann, the top 3 at the moment. How long will that last for? Verline out there, just see that bit of bumpiness down into the, what I call the cut through.
Twitchy off the that turn, the exit of that, but getting it all together now. Pascal Verline, as you said, Andrew, youngest.
Yeah, well, remember, started the season thinking he was going to do Formula 3. In fact, racked up some points at the first Monza race in Formula 3. And then, of course, got the call that Ralf Schumacher decided didn't want to continue, so Wehrlein got the seat and been doing a pretty good job of it.
To be fair, we were talking at lunchtime, weren't we? Wehrlein's still very much in the points.
I think in the Formula 3 he's still about 9th in the championship because he had such a good weekend at Monza.
Right, now Gary needs to do some work here, doesn't he? Where are we? We've got 2.5 minutes remaining as he heads up towards the chicane now. Gary Paffett is currently 9th fastest through the chicane, taking the curbs there. Had a reasonable middle sector, but the first sector let him down, Andrew.
Yes, I should have a good enough time now, I think, to get him a couple of places up the field. Let's see what happens as it crosses the line. And, well, 3 places up the field, in fact, to 6th. Farfus still missing the cut at the moment. Bruno Spengler down there in 10th place. Just felt that Spengler dropped his head. Obviously got punted off in Moscow, and the car was never right after that. Damage to the rear of the chassis.
And Vitoris goes quickest, Andrew, with a 1:23.241.
Yeah, well, he's having an excellent season, isn't he, Vitoris? So it's Molina. Molina, the man that punted off Spengler. Moscow race, and Glock coming through, and Glock is 14th at the moment. Rockefeller in 7th.
There he is.
You see this bounce up, and you always see that, they just bouncing up and down on the seat a little bit. Bruno's on a quick one, a very quick one indeed. This is going to take Bruno right into the top 2 or 3 places.
So we watch him exit then the final turn and head to the start-finish straight. Where is this going to put Bruno Spengler?
5. Well, it might be a little bit better than that. That's solidly in, though. I say solidly in. If he was a 1/5 of a second slower than that, he'd be out. That's how close it is. And Rocky is now on the bubble, but he's on a pretty quick lap.
Farfus goes.
Now Rockefeller's out at the moment. Championship leader. Looks as if he might not make it into Q3. Here he goes. 42, he knows that. Told him over the radio, and the middle sector's not especially good, but could be good enough to get him back in. What's he going to do in this final sector? 42.5 is respectable. So here he comes, and I suggest he'll go up about 3 or 4 places. See how this last sector is, and wow,
no,
not a good. So he is 11th in. That is it, probably for Rocky.
He could get one more lap in.
Yeah, I'm not sure the tyres will be so good.
No, maybe not. Remarkably, Danny Juncadella, Andrew, P3.
Oh, excellent. Now, Juncadella, very successful here in Formula 3. Had 4 pole positions here in Formula 3 races over the season. 2 seasons he did, and 2 wins. So he knows his way around this track.
Here's Green.
Green not in at the moment. But the big story is that championship leader looks as if he's not going to make it into Q3. Hand down there in 16th. Thought might see something a bit better from him.
So here is Rocky then. Tyres shot or not, he's having another go.
Yeah, 42.9 is not really good enough. Unless he can do 2 stunning sector 2 and sector 3, then Rockefeller is going to be knocked out. And look, you see 0.6 of a second up to that point, slower. And Rocky is not going to make it. And, well, in fact, he's decided to abort the lap, and he comes into the pit lane. And Mike Rockefeller will start in 11th place tomorrow. A lot of work to do for the championship leader. So, and others out, Rockefeller, Green, Glock, Tambay, Wehrlein and Hand. So that leaves us at the moment the order: Vitoris, Mortara, Juncadella, Molina, Wickens, Spengler, Whitman, Farfus, Ekstrom and Paffett. Haven't said much about Rob Wickens, just, you know, professionally going about his job right in there. Well,
here we have it then. Christian Vitoris topped the Session 2 sheet with a 1:23.241. Then Edo Mortara, Danny Juncadella, great showing from Danny Juncadella, P3. Then Molina, Wickens, Spengler, Wittmann, then Farfus with Ekstrom and Paffett just in. Those out though, championship leader, Mike Rockenfeller. Jamie Green out, so too Timo Glock, Adrian Tombay, Pascal Verline and Joey Hand.
Yeah, 0.3 of a second between the top 10. And Rockefeller going out by 100th of a second. If he'd gone just over 100th of a second quicker, then it would have been Paffett that was out.
That is how close it is though, isn't it?
Certainly is. So into Q3 coming up. And Vittoria's certainly looking good here. So it's just to do the marks, the brands, if you will. It's Mercedes, Audi, Mercedes, Audi, Mercedes, BMW, and BMW, BMW, Audi, Mercedes.
So here we get some slow-mos then of those that we are losing. Pascal Verline there.
Joey Hand in the Exide Batteries car. Gunmetal grey.
Adrian Tombay, another one of those that goes out from Q2. Also out the Deutsche Post coloured BMW of Timo Glock. Here's 1:23.665, not enough to see him through to Q3. Jamie Green then. Another one out. Jamie with his brother Nigel, who's attending every event now and acting as his physio. And there, the talk of the session, Mike Rockenfeller, the championship leader, out from qualifying before we get to Q3.
At Moscow, Dave, they had the the three-letter symbol for the driver, and underneath they had their name in Russian script. It's interesting.
Oh, right.
Yeah, and there's Ernst Moser from Phoenix Racing shaking his head. Local team. And of course, he is Rocky's team boss, and they'll be very disappointed with that. Now for Spengler, all of a sudden he's got a chance to make up that deficit in the championship. And we can hear from Timo Glock now.
Timo, you had an amazing qualifying one. You finished there P4 and now with P3. Are you happy with this result?
Not totally. I mean, we had a car which was totally difficult to drive this morning. We were just nowhere, and I was very worried about the car balance itself, and we had to change quite a lot to get it right. And we got it in a better shape, but had just a bit too much mid-corner understeer, and I just couldn't rotate the car enough to get the maximum out of the tires and everything. So it was not perfect. The laps were good. There were no massive mistakes in it, but I just couldn't go quicker at the end. I think I repeated the time out of Q1 twice in Q2. But it wasn't quick enough. So if we would have got the car the way it was in qualifying in free practice, we could have fine-tuned it a bit more. So, but I'm not unhappy because we are only 2 tenths away from Brunei and from Marco. So, and they didn't really struggle this morning. So I'm quite happy with it. A better qualifying performance than in the past. So tomorrow we need to see what the beautiful weather will do up here and see what we can do in the race.
And you know the Nürburgring quite well from your Formula 1 races and your Formula BMW time. So actually what's possible for tomorrow? Last year BMW was extremely strong. We've seen a wire-to-wire win from Bruno Spengler. So from P13 you're going to start. Will it be your lucky number?
I don't know. I mean, in Spielberg we started from P12.
So, you know, everything.
And there you finish P3. So actually now P30 and finishing P4 would be not too bad.
Well, podium would be better, so I would prefer that more. But we need to see. I mean, Mercedes just looked quite strong, I think, in Q2. We need to see what we can do in the race. We push until the end and see where we get out of it.
Good luck for tomorrow. Back to you guys.
Yeah, thanks very much. Dave Richardson, Andrew Marriott here at Nürburgring. What we're going to hear is from Mike Rockenfeller, not getting through into Q3, a shock.
A big shock for us, Mike. What happened? You finished P11 and could make it to Q3. You're the championship leader. It's not the best base for the race tomorrow.
No, it's for sure not a good position, P11 in the middle of the field. But yeah, it's DTM, it's very close. We were not quick enough today, and that's basically the end of the story today.
It will be really interesting, the first corner within the middle of the field. You're not so used about to be right in the middle of all these other cars. So is it the strategy for tomorrow just to make it through the first turns?
Well, I think every driver tries the same in the first corner. You know, you try to make some positions, but also you try to make the corner and don't have any damage on the car. We will see. It's going to be tough for sure. The others try really hard with me, but yeah, I try my best, and we will see. I think I've been more in the back this year and still finished in the front, so we still hope for a good result.
And it's a home round for you and for the Phoenix team, so actually there are going to be a lot of fans and family and friends who are going to support you. So good luck for tomorrow. Thanks, Mike. Back to you guys.
Thanks very much, Eve, and Q3 already underway here. Danny Cadella, third in the previous session, has never made it into Q4 in his first season. In fact, his best qualifying has been 7th. So it'll be interesting to see what he can do. Looks as if he might improve on that 7th. But a lot of things, some boys really turn it on. The old hands start to turn it on, don't they, in this session?
Yes.
And watch out for Gary Paffett. Got his whole family with him this weekend. All those went in the Mercedes, all those 3 boys. They were all playing some various computer game. I wouldn't like his battery, Bill.
So just taking a look at this replay. Now, bear in mind, this is in qualifying, Andrew.
Yeah. Whoa, nice shot. Ooh.
So,
yeah, getting a good shot at Eki, and now getting a good shot of Mortara.
So Edo Mortara then we can see filling our screens at the moment. This is Q3 in DTM qualifying. So he runs out onto the Astro there, but keeps it all together through this section of the circuit. So Edo Mortara then.
Yeah, not been having a good season. Remember, he had a couple of wins last year. Only finished in the points once so far this year. Has been in the through to Q4 a couple of times, and turning the screen purple at the moment, Mortara. Italian flag on the side of the car, speaks French, comes from Switzerland.
Make of that what you will. Runs a bit wide there, Andrew.
Yeah, just pushing a bit too hard. Just see the rubber on that curb.
Yeah, I know.
It's a real flying place, that. And we saw a Sirocco Cup race earlier. We saw one of the World Rally stars that was in the race. Really, was it Ewa Kankanen? Almost tipped it on its side. Good lap from Mortara, though. Now, pretty good lap from coming up from Gary Paffett, I think. Ride with him to the finish line, and Gary Paffett goes second to Mortara. Paffett, of course, leading the championship for quite a bit of last season. Seems to have had the gods and officialdom against him a bit this season. There's Marco Wittmann then.
So Wittmann with a first sector of 42.5. So the way it looks at the moment, it's Mortara, Paffett, Wickens, Farfus.
Look at Whitman, that first sector. Goes
one, isn't it?
purple, yeah.
Respectable middle sector as well, Andrew.
Yeah, Whitman looking pretty good here for a Q4.
So as he turns for the final time and heads towards the start-finish line, let's see where Marco Wittmann is going to go. Pole at the moment. He's
Wow,
right at the top there.
Had that-
P1.
Yeah, that great run in Spielberg, didn't he? Well,
Yes.
he qualified on the front row and then took it to a second place finish. See Paffett completing a very solid, decent lap here that takes him to third. Well, into Q4 at the moment is Whitman, Mortara, Paffett and Wickens.
So on board we were momentarily with Farfus. Here is Augusto Farfus then. 42.7 first sector, 20.5 mid sector. Around the final turn now.
I
Here
think
comes.
this, Dave, I think this might get him into fourth place. Let's see if the calculations are right. Yeah.
You're bang on.
Well.
So Farfus then fourth place, and here
Is Spengler, yeah. Remember,
that's a show.
Spengler's a three-time winner here.
He sometimes favours leaving it to the last minute, doesn't he? But that has caught him out before now, Andrew. So Spengler then.
Well, we've still got 5 minutes.
Yeah, we have. And here's Vitoris.
Torres on his first run of this session. And Nicodella, Spengler, I haven't had a run yet.
No.
Right, you see the clouds in the side of the chrome wrap around that car.
So Paffett brakes, goes through turn 1, sweeps around turn 2. We see him off the exit of that, doesn't run wide, keeps it nice and tidy between the lines. Hugely experienced racer, of course, Gary Paffett. And as you said, came so close to taking the championship last year, as we see Toto Wolff looking on, Andrew.
Yeah, saw Susie Wolff here as well this weekend.
So we'll run the clock on Bruno Spengler.
This downhill run into this very tight hairpin bend. Just under 4 minutes remaining. There's Spengler. Is he bouncing up and down here a little bit?
So 42.956 first sector for Bruno Spengler as he continues his run around his Miguel Molina. 42.7 and a 20.5 the first two sectors. He's round the final turn now. Where is Molina going to end up now? And he goes second fastest.
A bit of redemption coming here from Molina after his disasters in Moscow. There's Wickens still down there in fifth. And on board is Spengler.
Well, that wasn't enough for Spengler. So it's as it stands. Wittmann, Molina, Mortara, Paffett, Wickens, Vitoris, Spengler, Farfus, Ekstrom. Two and a half minutes remain. That's all in this third part of qualifying before we get to the pole position shootout.
Yeah, Whitman might even crack a smile, hasn't he? He's a fairly dour sort of character normally.
Yes.
Most of the time he looks as if he's lost a quid and found sixpence.
Yes, you're right. This is a great shot that we had there. Just looking at that chrome wrap that you'd indicated earlier, and looking at the clouds through them, and this overhead shot now shows you the close to perfect line around this Nürburgring circuit. Very close to running 4 wheels out then, but didn't get 2 on.
Watch for Farfus.
Okay.
Now,
Andrew, of course, monitoring that timing screen like a thing possessed, keeping an eye on every sector time. And Farfus then is one that we've got to watch out for. We are with Christian Vitoris at the moment. He's done a 42.9 first sector, a 20.6 second sector. He's currently 7th fastest.
Farfus on target for 4th, I think, which would knock Paffett out.
Well, Vitoris goes up 1 to 6th fastest. We're on board with Farfus now, 42.5, a 20.4. Well, is Andrew Marriott's prediction going to be absolutely right? Second fastest.
Even better, yeah.
Brilliant
3
stuff.
very good sectors put together.
Yep. And Danny Juncadella now. Daniel Juncadella then, the young Mercedes star.
Goes 6. Still, 6.
Yes.
Good for a
Jolly good.
first season DTM rookie that he is. And there's Paffett. They've thrown in the towel.
Yes, they have.
He's going to be starting in 5th place.
And Rob Wickens now. So 42.9 first sector, 20.6 second sector. He's currently 7th and stays 7th. So just 10 seconds remain. Those who are on a lap, including this man, Bruno Spengler. Well, he can get 1 more in, Andrew.
Yeah, but I don't see much changing now.
No.
I mean, the disappointment is Spengler down there, isn't it?
Well, it is, but
10th.
and I would have thought with here the knowledge that Rocky was out and much further down the grid, that would have spurred Bruno on just even a little bit more, Andrew. But,
Yeah, well, the clock, the flag's come out now. There's Spengler. And, well,
first sector, half a second slower than Marco Wittmann.
yeah. As I say, everything's possible in DTM. We've had people finishing second from virtually the back row of the grid this season, but there's Charlie Lamb. I just wonder if Spengler's head's down a little bit. 3-time winner here. But Wittmann, that's a big surprise. So, Wittmann going to get his first DTM pole here. Had that second place in Spielberg in qualifying. Spengler's getting another lap in, Dave.
I think he's just completed it.
Oh, I think he has, yeah.
Yeah, he's that's it.
Ekstrom pushed him, start in 9th place. There's Gary heading down to the other end of the pits. Sees Vitoris come in. So Farfus into the final 4 shootout again. Might be 5th in the championship, but if it was a championship for getting into that, he would be leading it.
Yep.
Because this is the 5th time that he's made it into the shootout. So the 4 are going. Are an unusual 4 really in Wittmann, Farfus, Molina and Mortara. And Molina basically in 20th place in the championship. And his best qualifying for this meeting was 9th this season at Brands. No points on the board at all. And Mortara, best qualifying this season until this was 3rd in Spielberg didn't have a good result there, and he was fourth in the Nürburgring in qualifying, so it's going to be his third time through.
There we see.
Yeah. Cadella. There.
Yeah, walking down. So, well, shootout to come then. Mortara Molina, Farfus Wittmann.
So the third row of the grid will be Fafit and Juncadella. The fourth row will be Wickens and Vitoris. Merckx in a solid bunch there. And then Ekstrom and Spengler will start 10th.
Confirmation of those that go out then: Gary Paffitz, Daniel Juncadella, Robert Wickens, Christian Vitoris, Matthias Ekstrom, and Bruno Spengler, all out from Q3.
Nice heli shot there of the Nürburgring. See the old Nordschleife going off.
Some slow-mos then of those that we lose from that part of qualifying, including man that's second, Bruno Spengler. Second in the Drivers' Championship is Bruno. Also going out then Matthias Ekstrom. Showed promise early on in qualifying, Christian Vitoris, but doesn't make it through to the pole shootout, nor does the orange steel liveried car of Robert Wickens. And there we can see Robert walking down the pit lane. And then the stern livery of Danny Juncadella. And just getting information that car number 21, Andrew, is under investigation. Article 30.9. Now, you haven't got the book in front of you, I know, but... so car 21, of course, is that of Marco Wittmann.
Well, that'd be a turn up for the books. Well, of course, and at the moment, he's going to go last out of the final four, having been fastest in that session. Discussions there with his engineer, Gary, and that might mean, and that's why this discussion is going on, that Paffit...
He could be back in.
Could be back in, yeah.
Could be back in, so, well...
we can go down and hear from Matthias Ekstrom.
Matthias, you finished P9 in the qualifying 3, so you couldn't make it to the top 4. What happened to you? Are you happy with that result after this fantastic race at the Moscow Raceway?
Yeah, I think it's never exciting to be P9, but our P9 in Nürburgring and could go to the front, so it's for sure not impossible to win the race from P9, but it will be a hard, long day tomorrow for sure.
But you won here already twice, I think in 2005 and 2011, so your memories are quite good from the Nürburgring.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, here it's also a different type of racing now with option tires and DRS, so starting position is not as crucial as it was in the past, but still a little bit better than P9 I was hoping for.
And I think you had some rally experience yesterday, so you are really prepared for wet conditions?
Honestly, I would prefer a dry race tomorrow because like Nürburgring and Moscow, we have showed that we are good at taking care of the option tires, and I think today was also proved that race setup, normally we have a very strong. Qualifying is not as great, but tomorrow is a new day.
Okay. Good luck for tomorrow. Interesting. He's such a rally fan, he wants dry condition for tomorrow.
Yeah, because that's a reference to the driver swap they did yesterday. Sebastian Ogier had to go in Ekstrom's DTM car, and Ekstrom, who's done some World Rally Championship events in the past, he swapped and he drove the rally-winning Polo. And now we can hear from Bruno Spengler.
Bruno, you finished P10 in the... let me help you, please. That's not looking nice on the TV, so guys. Okay, you finished P10 in Q3. You're starting tomorrow right in front of Mike Rockenfeller. What's possible for the race? Will we see the first corner as a hard fight with him?
Well, I don't know. To be honest, I'm not really concentrating on him. I'm just disappointed because the result is not good today. We have to analyze why. We cannot find performance since 3 races. We are too inconsistent. So we're just not quick enough. And that's the fact, and we have to work on it. And if we don't improve, it will be very hard for us for the championship. So we just have to carry on improving, carry on working. Here the performance was not good enough. I was not happy with my car in qualifying, so yeah, I mean, I have to, tomorrow probably the weather will be a bit crazy, so I have to concentrate on that and try to get the best opportunities. In the past we started in front and we were unlucky, so now we start in the back, and with the bad weather conditions, let's try and take that luck this time.
And with the option tires and the DRS, so looking forward tomorrow. Thanks, Bruno. Back to you guys.
Thanks very much. One of his favourite words, crazy, actually.
Yeah.
He often says crazy. It'll be a bit crazy. Well, it appears that Whitman will be going.
Right.
No more news on the screen, but we saw Paffett walking away. And here, getting ready for his Banzai lap, is the Playboy magazine-backed Audi, driven by Edo Mortara. A winner, of course, last year. He was the only Audi winner. There's Arno Jensen from Team Rosberg. So here he comes up the hill, turns right, and we'll start that flying lap.
So clock on Edo Mortara now. He's the first to show in our pole position shootout as he finds his way to turn 1 now. Heavy braking down through turn 1. Sweeps wide to the outside, ready to go through the turn 2. Runs out onto the Astro a little
wide
bit.
there. Mortara looking for his second career pole in the DTM. The master of Macau, Formula 3 champion of the past. Through the cut through, Dave.
Yep. So we stay with the progress. Edo Mortara is making a 42.952. First sector's not astounding, Andrew, but there's just 4 in this, and each of those drivers get merely 1 lap. They have an out lap, timed lap, and an in lap, and that is all they get. So heads now towards the chicane. Heavy braking once again, takes plenty of curb through there, and now it's just 1 turn before the start finish line, and we get Edo Mortara's time for his shootout.
I just see the end of this lap, and Mortara goes 1:23.648, and we hear from Gary Paffett, who's down with Eve.
Gary, actually, there was a little confusion. I think you start from P5, is it right?
Yeah, I mean, we were P5 and pretty happy with that, you know, but they said someone was under investigation, so maybe we were into Q4, but in the end not. So a lot of panic for no reason. But generally the qualifying was okay. I mean, the car felt pretty good. It's so difficult because you see some people in one session are right at the front and then further back, so it's really difficult to do consistent times right at the front. But to be honest, anywhere in the first 3 rows is good. I mean, we would like to be fighting for pole position, but anywhere near the front is good, and in front of Rocky and Bruno, so there are some positives, yeah.
And I can tell you have 3 Mercedes in your back.
Yeah, I mean, you know, the team's doing a really good job, you know. I think in Q2 especially we saw Christian was very strong and Robert, so the guys are doing a really good job, so it's good to have a lot of my teammates around me, yeah.
Okay, so good luck for the race, and it's interesting, no Mercedes in the top 4. Back to you guys.
Thanks very much. No Mercedes in the top 4. Lena out on the lap at the moment in the red RS5 look-alike, because this is a purebred racing car. And Molina a bit quicker than Mortara, Dave.
Yes, taken 2/10 out of Mortara's first sector time as Miguel Molina then continues on his timed lap then, and see where he's going to be in the front 2 rows of the grid come tomorrow's race. All of them talking about very changeable weather. He's quicker too in sector 2, Andrew.
Yeah,
through the chicane he comes.
Yeah, well, he made a little bit of a mistake in the chicane there, coming off for the end of the lap, and see if he's going to go quicker than Matsara. And here he comes in the second of the two Audis to go here, and he's going to cross the finish line now. And his time there goes 0.1 of a second faster. Look, so Molina, and so he's running as Rocky's teammate in Team Phoenix. And so Molina, a man whose best result this season, is it 11th? Oh, we can go to Vitoris so quickly.
Christian, it's your home round here at the Nürburgring. You live only 15 minutes from here, so actually with P8 you must be quite happy. Last year you had to start from P18.
Well, this year is much better than last year. I was actually fastest car in Q2, so obviously P8 is a little bit of a disappointment at the moment, but it's not that bad, you know. From P8 we still can have a good race.
Okay, so good luck for the race tomorrow. Thank you. Back to you guys.
Yeah, he called, you said local driver. I'll tell you who is local at the moment, it's Molina. He lives in the Nürburgring in the summer, because obviously the Team Phoenix is here, and so he's got some apartment right close to the track, so he can get to the race team quickly. Obviously he comes from Lloret de Mar in Spain, but that's where he based himself over the summer. But now we've got Augusto Farfus already on this lap, and it's looking good.
Yes, it is. He's quicker in the first sector. This is Augusto Farfus then. The all-green BMW then, as it wends its way around this Nürburgring circuit. Then Augusto Farfus certainly been one of the really notable BMW drivers in DTM. Is quicker in the second sector as well. This looks good for Augusto Farfus then, as he takes the final turn and heads towards the start-finish line. Augusto Farfus then, barring any mistake, should be quicker. A 1:23.296.
Yep. So he will definitely start on the front row of the grid, that's for sure.
Yep.
Funny business motor racing, isn't it? You know, Augusto Farfus in the World Touring Car Championship was always played second fiddle to Andy Priya.
Yes.
Now, Priya won a lot more races than Farfus. They were teammates, and most of the time Priya was quicker than Farfus. And here he is up there with a possible pole, and Andy's down in 20th place.
I know.
22nd place, whatever. Right.
Well, just for a moment, our hearts were in our mouths, because we wondered whether Marco Wittmann, we saw on the screen that he was under investigation for what we still not know, but he's out there now in that ice-branded car, Andrew.
Pressure on the young man here, Wittmann. Just 6 races in his DTM career. Had 1 fastest lap. And 1 podium. That's that second place we mentioned. There, that great run he had in Spielberg.
Yep.
This is going to be the first pole of his career. Well, maybe not, just looking at that.
Nope.
Looking good for Farfus. See what the second sector brings us. Possible to come back from that situation. 0.1 down in the first sector, but hard. Into the chicane. Still down. Pushing as hard as he can go. Where's it going to? Is it going to be row 1 or row 2 for Wittmann? And here he comes, and it's going to be Farfus who takes pole position here as Wittmann there completes his lap. And there, lots of congratulations at Team M-Tech for Wittmann. So it's an all BMW front row of the grid with Farfus and Wittmann, then Audi 3rd and 4th. And there is Augusto Farfus. And he likes to celebrate this man.
Yes.
His 3rd DTM pole.
There we just saw a...
And Eve is down there with a very happy Jens Marquardt, team boss to the cars that start on the front row of the grid.
He's making a lot of jokes actually here with me down in the pits. It's a double pole position for BMW, but actually it's a big surprise also with your rookie, Marco Wittmann. He's starting in second place. Augusto Farfus first position. Bruno Spengler from P10. What's your conclusion?
Well, obviously we're super happy. 1 and 2 here at our home track away from home is really special. So congratulations to Augusto. This Q4 lap was really mega. Marco, our rookie, no nerves, but he was pushing. But I mean, a great result. I mean, Bruno struggled a little all through the day, but still P10 is a good position to start from. You never know with the weather tomorrow. So really happy.
And Bruno starting right next to Mike, so will be interesting first turns.
Yes, a lot of spice in the race for tomorrow.
So everyone is looking for tomorrow. Back to you guys. Thank you, Jens.
A lot of spice, Andrew. I think that's right, isn't it? Jens Marquardt, then the boss of the BMW, and delighted with the front row, of course, for the DTM race tomorrow, as we see Marco Wittmann then out of the car then, and Augusto Farfus was still celebrating as I saw him dancing along the pit lane. Andrew.
Wittmann climbs out of old Stripey. I think I said it in Moscow. You can get a watch in each of those colours that are on the roof. It's sort of a bit like Swatch, isn't it?
Yes.
Similar sort of deal to that. Yeah. That's Bart Lampard. Bart, I should say. Dr. Wolfgang Ulrich comes along and congratulates PR boss of BMW, who's about 7 foot tall.
He is tall, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yes, he is.
Cotty, I think. You're going to call him Cotty.
Yes. So, well, what a very, very interesting qualifying it was.
Yeah, and, wouldn't have predicted that.
No. And now that is the talking point, Andrew, as we look to the clouds. It's the weather for tomorrow. Here it is then. Augusto Farfus and Marco Wittmann lock out the front row. Then it's Molina and Mortara. Then we see Gary Paffett and Danny Juncadella, Robert Wickens, Christian Vittoris, Matthias Ekstrom, and then it's Spengler, Rockenfeller, Green, Glock, Tombe, Verline, Hand, Albuquerque, Scheider, Werner Tomczyk, Merry, and as you mentioned, a teammate to Farfus, Andy Prio. So, very, very exciting qualifying, which lends itself to being a very exciting race tomorrow with a big mix through the grid, Andrew. Some of those that we expected to be right at the front aren't.
No, people keep talking about the weather, Dave, and more clouds coming into the sky here. And it's been changeable here in the past. So we will see what happens tomorrow. It's going to bring a lot of excitement, I'm sure. So we're getting towards the end of this championship, but will it all suddenly close up again? But we can hear from Marco Wittmann on the front row of the grid.
Marco, you're a DTM rookie. It's the first time for you in this DTM season, so actually you're starting from P2. You must be incredibly proud.
Yeah, I'm actually really, really happy, especially like the last 3 races were quite difficult for us. And now to be back in the first row, already a second time next to Spielberg, so I'm really happy. August is on pole, so I think it's just a really good day for BMW and for us.
Wow, congratulations, Augusto. You're smiling from one to the other side. So it's pole position for you.
Yeah, well, it's a dream. I mean, Marco has been extremely quick during the entire weekend. We had to work hard during qualifying, but the lap in Q4 was really good. So I'm very pleased. I think the engineers did a brilliant job to get the car on the right window. So, yeah. Race will be long. We know, we have seen also from Moscow that the race here are very tough. We have to try to get a good pace, a good start, and then we see.
But from Moscow, you were the best BMW with P3, so good luck for the race. Actually, we have Miguel Molina here with us. Congratulations. You're smiling from one to the other side. You remember when you drive this weekend on the podium, I'm going to shave you.
Yes, you will. But now it's really good qualifying. Thank you to Audi and to Team Phoenix. It's really good because it's in the home race, so it's special to be the first Audi and to be in the top 3. So I'm really, really happy because we had some tough days in the first races. So yeah, but I like I always say, I will continue working, and I'm sure that I can be with the top guys that I did it today. So I'm really happy.
So perhaps I see you on the podium. Enjoy the moments. Thanks, Miguel. Back to you guys.
Well, Marco, I mean, Farfus is full of it, isn't he?
Yeah.
Wittmann's alongside, and he hasn't broken into a smile yet.
He hasn't really cracked one, has he?
No. Okay, here's the grid then, the way it's going to look. Augusto Farfus and Marco Wittmann then, P1 and P2, all BMW row 1. Next up then, it's going to be Miguel Molina and Edo Mortara, P3, P4. As we continue our look through the grid, we see Gary Paffett there, P5. Alongside is going to be Danny Juncadella. We stay with Mercedes and Robert Wickens, P7. Christian Vittoris goes alongside in P8. Then we see Matthias Ekström, P9, and Bruno Spengler. Second in the points is P10. Then it is Mike Rockenfeller, the points leader, and Jamie Green. The Deutsche Post car of Timo Glock and Adrian Tombe alongside Timo. Then it's Pascal Verline and Joey Hand, P15 and 16. Felipe Albuquerque and Timo Scheider, P17 and P18. As we head towards the back of the grid now, we see Dirk Werner and very disappointed Martin Tomczyk. And then right at the back of the pack, it's Roberto Merri and Andy Prio.
Yeah, that's the 22-car lineup for the 7th round of the DTM, which will take place here in the shadow of the ancient Schloss. I seem to remember it's 13th century. It's very, very old, Dave. And you can go right to the top of that. And then you'll look down here on that paddock and the big pits complex. And looking down there into the Eiffel Mountains. Nice little shot of that chicane. And look at all the cars out going on the Nordschleife there.